Longfellow's poem analysis. The day is cold, dark, and dreary, it rains, and the wind is never weary, the vine still clings to the moldering wall, but at every gust, the dead leaves fall, and the day is dark and dreary. My life is cold, dark, and dreary, it rains, and the wind is never weary, my thoughts still cling to the moldering past, but the hopes of youth fall thick in the blast, and the days are dark and dreary. Be still, sad heart, and cease repining, behind the clouds is the sun still shining, thy fate is the common fate of all, into each life, some rain must fall, some days must be dark and dreary. The poem was first published in 1842 and has since become one of Longfellow's most popular works. It is a poem that can resonate with anyone who has experienced a rainy day or a dark period in their life. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's The Rainy Day is a poem that reflects on the feelings of sadness and depression that can often accompany rainy days. The poem, written in a somber tone, uses imagery and metaphor to explore the theme of sadness and the importance of finding comfort in difficult times. The poem opens with the speaker expressing his feelings of sadness and despair, saying the day is cold, and dark, and dreary. This line sets the tone for the rest of the poem and introduces the idea that the weather can have a profound effect on our emotional state. The speaker goes on to describe the rain, saying that it is falling steadily and straight and that it is as if the world is all in tears. The imagery of the rain is used to convey a sense of melancholy and despair. The rain, which is often seen as a symbol of renewal and growth, is presented here as a force of destruction and sadness. The world is described as being all in tears, emphasizing the overwhelming feeling of sadness that the speaker is experiencing. Despite the bleakness of the opening lines, the speaker goes on to reflect on the importance of finding comfort in difficult times. He acknowledges that everyone experiences sadness and hardship at some point in their lives and that it is important to accept these feelings and find a way to move forward. The speaker uses a metaphor to illustrate this idea, comparing life to an ocean. He says that into each life, some rain must fall, some days must be dark and dreary. This metaphor suggests that just as the ocean has its storms and rough waters, life too has its ups and downs. The rain, then, becomes a symbol of these difficult times, and the speaker suggests that we must learn to weather these storms to find peace and happiness. The poem goes on to describe the comfort that can be found in the presence of loved ones. The speaker says that behind the clouds is the sun still shining, suggesting that even in the darkest of times, there is hope and light to be found. He goes on to say that thy fate is the common fate of all. Into each life, some rain must fall, emphasizing the idea that we are all in this together, and that finding comfort in the presence of others can help us weather life's storms. The final stanza of the poem brings the message of hope and comfort at home. The speaker says that be still, sad heart, and cease repining, behind the clouds is the sun still shining. Thy fate is the common fate of all. Into each life, some rain must fall, some days must be dark and dreary. The repetition of the phrase behind the clouds is the sun still shining serves to reinforce the message of hope and optimism. The speaker is urging the reader to find comfort in the knowledge that, no matter how dark things may seem, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. In summary, Longfellow's The Rainy Day is a powerful reflection on the theme of sadness and depression. Through the use of imagery, metaphor, and repetition, the poem conveys the idea that everyone experiences difficult times, but that finding comfort in the presence of loved ones and accepting our emotions can help us weather life's storms. The poem is a reminder that, no matter how dark things may seem, there is always hope and light to be found if we look for it.